Welcome back, boys, to another New World Wednesdays. Tonight, I have the lovely Peddler. Good evening, Ped.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm back. I look much nicer than Tyler.
and our special guest, Studeee. Welcome, man.
Hey guys, what's up?
Welcome. Before we get started, do you want to tell our viewers kind of who you are, where you're from, and maybe a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Studeee. I live in the Seattle metro area in Washington State on NA West. And yeah, I'm just a content creator like Danneh and have a lot of fun talking with him and decided to kick it back on the show.
Yeah. Well, man, awesome. Welcome. So tonight, guys, we're going to be going through June Alpha Update Part 2. Yeah, so where are we? Okay, so this is not a massive update, but it's got some really cool parts to it. Me and Ped, as you guys know, are pretty we'll work it out as we go along. Studeee, I think, has had a bit of a look and he knows his stuff, so don't show us up too much tonight, mate, please. And guys, at the end of our little show, we are going to be doing another New World copy giveaway. If you don't want to hang around, for the hour, I'm not going to be sad. Feel free to go away and then come back in about an hour's time. We'll be giving it away. We're going to be doing it through the car race again, which last week was just absolute carnage and crazy fun. So yeah, I think we might as well just dive straight into it, right?
I think so. Let's do it.
Here we go.
The transition worked. Woohoo! Okay, boys. So if you haven't seen it yet, this is the start of the June Alpha Update Part 2. So the first thing we straight away get to see is some of the new armor that they've teased, which is I don't know. Throughout my streams over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of talks around armor. Some people love them. Some people don't love them. There's a lot of mixed feedback.
Some people don't like the armor.
Yeah.
No way.
I think the vibe is the people who dislike it think it's maybe a little bit too fantasy, and the people that do like it think it's just fucking awesome. I mean, what are your thoughts, Studeee?
I think the more armor, the better. I mean, the more ways you can differentiate yourself, looks wise from other players is always a really, really great thing. I mean, that's why systems like transmogrification and other MMOs are such a big deal. So I think the more armor and weapons that you can shove into this game, the better, hands down.
Absolutely. I think one of the big things I've been reading from them is allowing people to have that sort of individuality, whether you like it or not. They can be individual, and I think that's super cool. So, boys, I'm not shit faced. I know I've been to a wedding. I was riding my motorbike. All is good. No drink and riding, boys. I'm okay. I'm just hyped, boys. I'm just hyped. Okay, let's just run through. So same as always, I'll do my best to kind of read to you guys. Bit of a Dan story time. Ped, Studeee, if there's anything that you see that's super interesting, we'll pick up on it. I think something very interesting is coming on early days, which is the war declaration. So we'll try and get to that as quick as possible. So straight off the bat, they've added 2 new types of PvE faction missions: Assassinate and Elite. Assassinate missions challenge players to take out specific high threat foes. Here we go, boys.
God.
Here we go, boys. Elite missions send players
read the first sentence.
to send on a tournament's most dangerous villains and their minions. These missions are a higher difficulty with a higher reward. Kind of cool, right? Bringing in some new PvE content. Actually, I'm trying to get involved in Reddit a bit more. So yesterday I put out a poll, what people are looking forward to, and by far the results that have come in are PvE. People are really hyped for expeditions and sort of arenas and just questing, basically.
That's great. Yeah, I think the assassinate and elite quests are great. They really, I think that they really needed these in the game. I come at it from like a lore perspective. You know, if you're taking out high threat foes, you know, these are probably really important NPCs in the game, and so they can tie these types of missions up, you know, into the game, and you'll you know, hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about the lore of Aeternum while we're going out to kill these high ranking enemies.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, Studeee, you'll make some decent videos on that, because Danneh won't know anything about the lore, because he won't pay any attention to any of it, and then he'll be, you know, max level and be like, "Does someone talk to me about the story?"
Incoming roast. Well, as a lot of you guys know, the way I build my the company is I know nothing. You know, like a real life man, I employ good people. That's how it rolls.
Surround yourself with the best.
Absolutely. A really cool comment just come in chat. Bretty TV, yo, big fan of you and Studeee. Awesome that you guys are collaborating. Oh man, this is brilliant. It's really cool. Thank you all guys for joining straight away. Okay, so reduce the weight cost of Azov fast travel by 20%, and invasion rewards are now tied directly to a player's scoreboard score. I think this is really cool. I think the one thing from a lot of the sort of competitive player sides in the preview, there wasn't really a way to kind of prove yourself. I think scoreboards and things like that it's kind of nice. Obviously, it brings that competitive side to it, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and the invasions. This is protecting your fort from waves of corrupted, right? That's
yeah. We a few of our company participated in an invasion in the preview last year and got their asses handed to them.
I released a video that was like, yeah, it was like a 3-minute video because we got destroyed in like 3 minutes. Yeah, you had no idea what we were doing. Yeah, the scoreboard is a really cool feature that I think will you know, it's you're aspiring to be the best in that invasion, which is it's always good for MMOs for people to be, you know, looking towards the top of whatever they're doing. So I think it's really cool.
So
yeah, it definitely plays into the hands of the of those that want to kind of wave their e-peens around.
Mm-hmm. So an update I don't think we were expecting, but I think has been warmly appreciated, is the new war declaration update. So just a little quick history. The way you would declare war in New World before was you would throw an enemy territory into conflict by completing PvP faction missions, and once that settlement's in conflict, anyone, whether it's a one-man company or a 1,000-man company, can basically have a chance to declare war. If 15 companies sign up, one of those 15 would be selected at random. So what the war declaration update has basically done has basically said if you do the most work, you have a higher chance to be the vanguard of the chosen company to declare war. So I'll just run through it quickly just so we get the exacts. So all companies in a faction are no longer eligible to declare war when a territory is thrown into conflict state. To be eligible, a company must have contributed at least 10% of the total influence required to throw the territory into conflict. In the unlikely event that no company contributes over 10%, any company will be eligible. And yeah, the war declaration button now indicates the company's eligibility. And finally, if more than one company declares war on the same territory during conflict, the amount of influence a company contributed toward the conflict increases its chance to be selected as the vanguard. Woo! That was a mouthful. Studeee, what do you think, man?
I've been preaching this since before the preview week. I mean, this needed to happen.
Yeah.
If you are a company that's farming influence in a region to try to get a specific to try to take control of a specific region, and another company, you know, you contribute 95% to the influence, and another company gets selected at random from out underneath you, and you win the war, and they get the region for themselves. You know, that just completely devoids all of the the incentive to go in and really farm influence. No company really wants to, take that under, take that undertaking by themselves. So if your company goes in and farms 91% of the influence, no other company can declare war on that region. And if you are farming a bunch of influence, you're going to have a way greater chance to be that vanguard company over somebody else. Really, really fantastic. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we complained a lot about this in preview and the run up to preview. The fact that you could literally have a very small company go and declare war. So you could have an alt company that could go and declare a war and then just not fight the war, so that the other company always win the war. So this mechanic definitely kind of prevents the massaging of the war scene, which is so much better. Yeah, because you've got to put the effort in, and you've got the good shot of becoming the vanguard. So I think that's fantastic.
Do you think that this will potentially cater to Zerg companies? If for example a company has 500 members, it's going to be a lot easier for them to declare war a lot more often than the smaller companies. Do you think that's going to shit on the smaller guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a chance that would happen, but I think that the pros definitely outweigh the cons in this situation, where you're most of the companies on a server aren't going to be this massive Zerg, and making it more equitable to these types of companies that want to, they want to play the game, and if they want to go and farm influence in a specific region, you should give them a better chance to be the vanguard company.
Sure.
I think that this could happen, but in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal.
I think it will. Let's say there's 3 or 4 20 to 15, 20 to 25 man companies. It might sort of guide them to team up and become one company, or I don't know. It might push sort of alliances stronger, and people will come under one banner. But I think, like you say, I agree. I think it's an awesome change, and it basically means the harder you work, the more you are rewarded. Just picking up on a question in chat. Thanks for spawning this, Moomy. Studeee, one for you, mate. People are wanting to know, do you have a clan name yet, and where will you be playing?
So we'll be playing on NA West, and I'm about to pull our Discord for the name and potentially the faction that we're going to be choosing. For beta, especially for beta, it's just going to be pretty chill. Obviously everything gets wiped, so it doesn't really matter what you choose in the beta. But yeah, we'll be playing on NA West. It'll be really fun.
Sweet.
I hear Pirate Gaming USA is available.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's tempting. That is tempting.
Wiz, man, thanks for your sub, bro. Appreciate that. I mean, I could probably sit and talk about the war declaration a lot because I just think it's fantastic, but I think we've covered it very well. So let's push on to the PvP updates. Okay, so in a continued effort to support PvP, we've reduced gear's durability loss due to PvP death, increased XP for PvP kills, and adjusted camp respawner mechanics to make faction control point battles more interesting. A lot of the guys who come through my stream really want more incentives for PvP and more PvP only zones. Don't forget, boys, faction control points are your PvP only zones. It's not that a massive open world that I know you want, but it's a space for you to constantly PvP. Players flagged for PvP receive 50% less durability damage to equipment, both equipped and in their backpack. They have increased the XP players receive for PvP kills and added rewards for players that have been alive longer. So killing a player that has been alive longer than 1 hour will now reward 4 times what the max used to be. Maybe a noob question from me here. Do you think that this is specifically when someone's PvP flagged, or could I be alive 50 minutes, flag PvP for 10 minutes, and I would still get that 4 times reward? Open.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe it's just alive. I mean, you're gonna have to have your PvP flag on.
To get the kill,
I'm guessing that if you're just if you're just alive for an hour and you turn your PvP flag on, you're gonna be worth that 4x.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the answer. I just I thought
I'll play devil's advocate. I think it's only if you've been PvP flagged for an hour, and then you get the accumulator. So if someone comes along and blats you, then they get the 4 times XP gain. Because if you've just been PvEing, you've not really earned a PV. You know, if you've been PvEing and you've not been PvP flagged, you probably die to a croc every 5 minutes.
Yeah, what I hope is that you know, when you're PvP flagged and you're kind of accruing this time or this cooldown towards that 4x reward for other players, you know, it would be really nice to see some sort of like bounty system. You know, like if somebody's been alive for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it tells people where you are on the map, and maybe it shows somebody what the reward is for killing you.
Yeah.
They've done that in some other MMOs, and it really, you know, if people start coming to you know, in large swaths to come and kill you, you know, you just die once and then you're not worth very much. So people aren't going to spawn camp you. I hope they
so like
some sort of bounty system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, especially if it's in I guess it could be open world, but if there was dedicated PvP areas where that bounty system, you know, gave you a map radar or whatever it might be, and you know, go and take out Danneh, he's worth 1 million gold or something, you know, 100,000 gold. Yeah, that's massive incentive. And then huge bragging rights if you get zerged and you survive.
Yeah.
I do feel like I was thinking about this for half a second, is that I feel like maybe bounty systems do de-incentivize players from killing or looking to kill lots of other players, and only you know, like if there's a bounty on one specific player, if you go out and kill that person, it's really, really efficient. And then you're like, well, I don't want to kill anybody that's not bountied because it's not as efficient for time. It could be pretty cool to have this, you know, anonymized, so that, you know, you're kind of running into kind of skirmishes in the open world, and you don't know what you're going to get. You know, the reward could be 4x, the reward could be 1x. You have no idea. That might be kind of fun and exciting.
Is it me, or has Studeee gone into the Matrix?
Yes, he has turned into a million.
Did I go into the Matrix?
Pixel.
Hey, it's back, boys! Woohoo! Yeah, your camera went all megapixelated. That was kind of cool, actually. Bretty, great question, man. We'll pick that up at the end if you don't mind re-asking, because that is a massive question and something that we could talk about for quite a while. So we'll come back to that, bro. He said censored. Studeee got censored, boys. Okay, so another big change.
If you could hear me, that's good.
Yeah, we can hear you. We're good.
Another big change to PvP is when you are flagged for PvP, choosing to respawn at a camp activates a longest respawn time. For each subsequent camp respawn, this cooldown increases. If the player chooses to respawn elsewhere, for instance at a settlement, the cooldown will continue counting down in the background.
Can we please get someone that can read on this show?
Give me a break, Peddler. Come on, man. I'm trying my best.
Come on. I just want some person that can actually speak the Queen's English and read the Queen's English.
You can go next week, man. You can go next week. If the player dies while flagged for PvP, while the cooldown is counted down, the time increment will be added to the current value. This makes respawn at a settlement and running back into the fray a great way for players to lower their camp cooldown. Obviously, I don't know how much this is going to affect me because I don't die. I'm a bit of a badass. Obviously, complete opposite. But I think this is a cool change, man. I like that. If people, you know, you can see it now. Just hundreds of camps outside a faction control point are just hours and hours of endless PvPing. So I think this is kind of cool. And we sort of my experiences in in the preview, we had some really great open world battles with one of the top clans in Syndicate on our server, and you would just be constant respawning at your camps until someone runs out of repair parts. So I think this is kind of a nice way to basically incentivize you to play better in the open world if you're PvP flagged, rather than just going a little bit wild.
Yeah, but you watch what happens. You watch all of the PvPers that have been whining about wanting more PvP. They'll all be complaining about there being too much PvP, and then they'll all stop flagging for PvP because they'll have spent 5 hours battling over, one part of the map, and then everyone will be tired and sad. And they'll be like, "I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to go and craft."
Oh,
well, this makes it less like that, right? This changes like anti that. Like we're going to be PvPing for a long time because now people are going to have to be spawning at the settlement rather than the camp. So they're going to have a massive run if they want to come back into the battle.
Yeah.
Depending on which settlements you own and which buffs you've got, though, right? Because there's going to be an advantage to certain companies or factions to get back to those locations if they've got the travel buffs and things like that.
That's true.
I think the good thing is ultimately,
no.
if like a mega fight's going down, if you die 2 or 3 times, you're going to be out the fight for a bit longer, and it gives that winning team a chance to finish off your remaining teammates. Basically, I think it's a cool change, and yeah, I mean I don't know the deal with kind of the fast travel yet, or how easy it is to travel to, there's obviously fast travel locations around the map now. I don't know where they are or how they work or things like that. So lots of so go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I do agree with you. I'm just being a facetious douchebag. But what I think will be really cool about it is it's going to put a massive incentive on the healers, right? The healers are going to be so crucial in these scenarios because, yeah, absolutely. If you are losing loads of people and then that respawn count is getting longer and you're having to travel further, the side that keeps the most people alive, it's all going to be on the healers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the health pool is the most valuable resource in PvP for sure.
Mate,
we got any healers? I hope we've got some healers. I think we
got a few healers, mate. I find myself like just reading chat, and it's so good, man. All of the comments that are flying through are awesome. I love it. Boys, if you pick up anything in chat that you want to answer, feel free to just jump in and pick up some questions. And boys, if you do have questions in chat, try and type our names in that you really want us to pick up and answer, because it flags it up in a nice thing.
Danneh can't read
for my eyes. The Toodler, thank you for your follow. Okay, so moving on to progression updates. I mean, Studeee, are you more PvP focused, PvE focused, or are you a bit of like everything?
Yeah, so I'm really interested in the PvP theory crafting. That's why a lot of my videos have to do with PvP build guides for certain weapons. But I really love. I was a big RuneScape fan, and so the crafting in New World seems feels very close to RuneScape's crafting. So I'm gonna be loving the crafting. I'm gonna be loving the PvE, but I love that PvP theory crafting, and so. It might look like I love PvP more than everything else, but I definitely love everything in this game for sure.
I think the one thing that I love about New World is if you own a settlement, you are gonna be having PvP at some point soon, and you also know if you're a relatively high level player within your faction, there's a good chance that you'll be involved in some PvP with your faction company, so you can really just chill and enjoy kind of fishing and the crafting and just chill out because PvP is coming. I like it, man. I've been a big fan of like the sound design, and anytime I get a chance to go into New World, just we talk about all the time, Ped. If you can hear people logging in the distance and you can hear people mining, and it's just like it's so immersive. So. We are a heavy PvP focused community. Like everyone wants to just kick ass, and it's great. But on the flip side, all of us are just we don't mind flicking off PvP for a bit and just chilling in the environment because they've done such a good job of that. Just worth the money just for the the sound design and the settlements and stuff. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
Okay, so some sort of progression updates which involve a lot of kind of XP changes and a lot of words. Let's go through them. My screen is full of words and it scares me. So, okay, so reduce the XP required to level by 20% for all levels after level 7. Maybe you guys know, maybe you don't know. I don't know. Level 7 must be kind of. I'm assuming level 7 will be potentially that key point where you maybe get to like select a faction or join a company or something like that. So the increase in the previous update combined with the changes to corrupted breaches reduced the speed of leveling too much. This change should be a nice middle ground between what we felt was too fast in May and overly tuned changes introduced in the part 1 update. I mean, the fact that they've picked up on that quite quickly is really cool.
Yeah, I think the reduced XP after level 7. I think level 7 is around the time where you finish the starting quest line and you're moving into that first settlement to start the faction quests.
Cool.
Before you pick a faction. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that does to the leveling experience.
Was it level 7 in preview, or was it a higher level? I can't remember.
I remember around the level 10, level 11 mark, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, level 10, level 11, you're actually picking your faction, and so I think you kind of start those faction quests. You know, you do a quest for each faction before you choose.
Sure.
So that's probably around that level 7, 8 mark.
They have doubled the amount of XP from repeatable expedition quests. I don't actually know what that means. Whether that's like doing the actual expedition again, you're going to get double XP, or whether that is quest.
No, I think they've just doubled the amount that they had. So you can repeat those expeditions, but it's just double the amount that it was when it was released. Remember when we had the expedition?
That sentence confused the fuck out of me, Ped. I don't know what you just said.
So in the expedition patch, you got X amount of XP for doing the repeatable expeditions. Aren't they just saying they've just doubled that amount now?
Oh, yes, something like that. Any insights, Studeee? We're obviously confused.
Yeah, I think the repeatable. I might be completely off base here, but the repeatable expedition quest don't you like kind of like pick up a quest when you turn in your tuning orb? Like when you enter the dungeon, you get like the reward for completing the dungeon is experience and one of the pieces of gear that the dungeon allows you to grab.
Yep.
And some gold or something like that. I think maybe that, after you've completed the expedition once, it's going to be doubling the amount of XP that you're getting from those the expedition after that. Maybe it's just to make it so people don't feel like the tuning orbs are kind of if you run the dungeon once and you use a tuning orb, you're gonna be running it for the first time. It's gonna be really new. It's like, what's the incentive to go back to that expedition? Oh, well, you're gonna get double the XP. Well, that's fantastic. Makes the game a lot more repeatable. And repeating content is fun, and you're gonna be getting rewarded for doing that.
Yeah, guys in chat sort of agreeing there. I think there was a lot of comments like, why would I do it again? And this is just one change, which instantly makes you want to run through it again. So that's really cool. Yeah, if that's what it means. Town projects have been fixed, improved, and adjusted in a variety of ways. Not massively interesting there. Reduced the XP bonus granted from leveling up territory standing. Adjusted the amount of territory standing gained from crafting, as some crafted items could generate disproportionately large amounts of standing. I think these are like nice sort of balancing changes here, so nothing mega interesting.
I do like the increased trade skill XP for crafting jewelry items. Just to point that out, I had a little poll on YouTube and I said, what's going to be your favorite crafting profession? And jewelry came out stark last.
Really?
So maybe they're trying to boost the incentive to get into jewel crafting and make it a little bit easier to kind of level it up a little bit faster.
That's cool. I would have, sort of hands down said it would have been weapons. Like for me, like weapons seems to be, kind of cool and badass, but jewelry coming out top. That's really interesting. I like that. It's cool.
But I think it's not linked to the fact that you know the amount of gear buffs you can get onto the jewelry, and then add them to your weapons and armor slots.
It's a massive part of the game, isn't it?
Huge.
Yeah. Okay, so adjusted harvesting XP, adjusted weave and level work and trade still. Yeah, so kind of some balance in there. So this sort of goes back to where we were chatting at the beginning. We've continued to add much more visual diversity to in-game weapons and armor sets. Well, hey, whether we like them or not, there's diversity, and that's cool. Faction-heavy Tier 5 armor sets now have unique visuals with a different look for each faction. Lost enemies have been split into lost and drowned types to differentiate the types of gear that drops. A new set of gear visuals has been applied to the armor and weapons dropped by drowned enemies. The Breach Ice Gauntlet has a new visual look. I don't think I saw the old look. I don't know. Was that just the one that we saw from all their like teasers, maybe? Or what do you think?
Potentially. I don't. The Breach Ice Gauntlet. Isn't that a legendary Ice Gauntlet that you get from one of the legendary quests? I might be wrong on that. Maybe somebody in the chat can confirm that. But yeah, like we said before, I think adding loot and gear, adding loot, adding gear that's has these, these kind of these looks like the enemies that you're fighting, like Angry Earth type gear, the Lost, Drowned, Corrupted. I think this is gonna give a little bit of flavor to your gear set. And I've always loved the idea of looting something off of a boss that they're using or that looks like them. There's a massive corrupted troll, and you're like, that'd be badass if I could use his head as a helmet. And damn it, they might put that in the game as a helmet that you can get. And so I really like that. And so hopefully that's what it kind of feels like.
No, that's an awesome idea. Baggins thinks potentially it's some corrupted looking ice gauntlet too. Someone come up with a suggestion the other day with the introduction of potentially new weapons, that you don't just get given this weapon, it's part of the skill tree. You have to kind of defeat kind of a high level boss, like you said, that let's say he has a pistol or a crossbow or whatever weapon they decide to introduce, that he would drop that and you kind of get your base weapon from that boss. So yeah, man, following what you said, that something like that would be super cool, whatever it is, whether it's weapons, armor, just a skin, who cares? It would be super cool. You got to like kick ass to get get that reward.
Yeah, and a lot of games don't do that, and I don't know why they do. These games make these really great bosses. Somebody that has like a badass looking two-handed sword or something like that, and you're like, dude, I bet I get that sword. I bet I get that sword when I kill him. And then he doesn't drop the sword when you kill him. You're like, it just kind of makes you mad. You're like, yeah, that would have been so cool if I could get what he has.
Talk, great question, man. If we can pick that up at the end, that'll be solid. Lost heavy and medium armor drops have a new look at tiers 3 and 4. I think that's kind of cool. Again, they're starting to introduce whether it's tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these tiers, hopefully, at some point, will start to feel and look different with the weapons. Again, just sort of adding that straight up diversity into the weapons. That's cool. This is a question that I just do not know the answer to. Update the visuals on outpost rush weapons. So do we know if you take your character that you're building, you're leveling, you're looking after into outpost rush with everything that he has on his back, or do you kind of get given, like it says here, an outpost rush set of gear that puts you on a level playing field with everyone else? Tough question. I don't think the answer's out there yet, but yeah, sorry, Studeee, go for it, mate.
No, it's a gear set that's specific for Outpost Rush that you can get from those Outpost Rush caches. So when you go into Outpost Rush, it's your gear. They're not normalizing the playing field at all. It's just they've added gear sets that are themed towards Outpost Rush.
Beautiful.
this weapons and armor. So it's kind of like, arena or battleground armor in World of Warcraft, or probably a bunch of different MMOs. And it's a cool reward at level 60. You can kind of grind out these gear sets. Really, really, really cool addition.
Sick. So if you are a big Outpost Rush player, you could basically, start bringing your Outpost Rush look to the open world and sort of say, hey boys, I'm a badass PvPer. You don't want to mess with me. You going to be playing some Outpost Rush, Ped?
I don't know. I might be busy chopping trees down or something.
Bit of crafting. Good man. I like that. I like that. Added weapon sets for Dynasty enemies in the open world. Updated the visuals on Dynasty shipyard expedition weapons. Added some new armor sets with interesting visuals to the global open world drops. This is cool. Again, I don't know any information on this. A 17th century beekeeper's outfit. I did a little video and I put up your typical beekeeper in his white suit with his net around his face. I don't know what a 17th century beekeeper's outfit is. I haven't done my research. Studeee, do it quick. Let's go. Do we have any? Do you guys have any idea what this may look like, or whether it'll be usable, or if it's just for a bit of fun? What do you think, Ped?
Again, I think it's. So, do you remember in preview? I guess maybe it's just the cosmetic as opposed to actually giving you any additional buffs. But you've got the crafting armors with the lumberjack set, the horticulturalist set, the miner's set. Maybe because you get honey in the settlements, don't you? It's always there on a little tap. So unless you can actually go out now and go and raid beehives
with your beekeeper's outfit on,
we can have cut around and do some beekeeping. I would be down.
Or they'll have or they have the bee gauntlet, and people shoot bees at you, and if you have the beekeeper suit on, it totally negates the damage. I looked it up. I looked up the beekeeper suit, and it looks really. It's basically a horror story. It makes you look like a cyclops. You basically have this white robe and this massive weaved basket top right over your face. So you can kind of see through the holes and not get stung by the bees. It looks pretty scary. Yeah, the boys are popping some links in chat. I'll let links come in, so click them at your own peril. I don't know what they are. Good luck. But yeah, the one that Sika just posted looks horrific, man. That looks so scary. Oh man, gives me flashbacks of Visage the other night. Terrifying. It's like 17th century Bigfoot. Like if you see that walking around the forest, you're like, no way I'm going.
Oh man, that's pretty random as well. Because I was walking to a cafe in our village yesterday, and at the traffic lights in a little car was a person wearing a full beekeeper's outfit.
What? Just in their car?
How random
just standing there?
They were driving their car through the village, and they had full beekeeper's outfit on. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh!
They must be severely allergic.
Yeah, really paranoid. I don't want to get stung.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm just so excited to see how they bring this in, and whether it's purely just the cosmetic look. If someone wants to roleplay a beekeeper, sure, or whether it actually has some sort of functionality behind it.
Well, mate, you know what beekeepers are for. You make mead. We could start to become Vikings. Brilliant.
I love it. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. And this whole loot and gear section that we're running through now is just. It's all updates to weapons. It's all updates to visuals. And finally, updated visuals for the tier 5 weapons dropped by Elite Angry Earth. It's just brilliant. Okay, on to some visuals, boys. Some more armor. Someone actually said to me they reckon this dude on the left, that is the beekeeper's helmet. Someone said to me the one in the middle is the beekeeper's helmet. I think they were just talking rubbish. I don't think it makes sense. But off the bat... I think these are pretty cool. I like these. I'm not sure about sort of. Someone said it looks like beef or bacon hanging down the side of the helmet on the left. Pretty random, but I think in general yeah, again, diversity looks really cool. I love the skull on the belt. Studeee, what do you think, man? You liking these armor pieces?
Yeah, I like them a lot. The left kind of like this crown, that crown that you're talking about, that with the bacon off the side. It really looks like the looks like you might get that from the Lost Ogre. You know how the Lost Ogre kind of has a little cage around its face?
Yeah,
I feel like maybe that's a Lost themed sort of helmet there, which is really cool.
There's some real detail on his armor too. There's like a skull on his wrist. I mean, I'm assuming that's a great axe. He's two-handed it, and it looks tiny from this perspective. It looks really small.
It looks like the blocking animation for the hatchet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bow in the background is looking really cool, and look at that warhammer. I mean, juicy little weapons there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think the warhammer for me was just, it makes you feel like a badass. It's such an in-your-face weapon, and if you're wielding something that looks as cool as that, it's just, yeah. I think they've done a good job with these ones.
That helmet on the helmet on the left, the cake crown, is ridiculous. Come on, it's ridiculous. It would be cool. It would be cool if you could light the top of it, so it was like a lantern, and it was a flame burning, and then it would look cool. But like, it looks like someone was really shit at metalwork at school, and they went, "Here, look what I made for my A levels."
I'm hoping. A lot of people are hoping that you can kind of turn helmets off and kind of, rock a big beard or show off your cool hair. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I think, as we've seen through the last 4 or 5 updates, they're teasing new armor, especially with the fashion show. Did you see the fashion show, Studeee?
I did, yeah.
Amazing, right? Really cool. Again, the comments and the feedback we got were a lot of people didn't like the armor, but again, like, to be able to mix and match all these new pieces of gear, especially like you say, the guy in the back here has that more typical medieval type armor. Popping the helmet.
He looks like RoboCop, for Christ's sake.
But it's more, he does, yeah. It's more along the lines of your typical armor, apart from the RoboCop vibe, but.
He looks like RoboCop with an arrow from, was it Perseus's bow in that movie with Henry Cavill and the gods? He was Perseus, wasn't he?
Yeah, Percy Jackson and the something.
No, not that one. The Clash of the Titans. Yeah. So he pulled. It was all about the bow, and you pull your fingers back through the bow, and you get a massive gold arrow appeared, just like that.
I love that.
Quick question for Amumi. Studeee, what would you like to see more of? Kind of a bit more of a fantasy kind of armor vibe, or going down the historic, realistic side?
I think that I think a little bit more. I think I lean towards the fantasy a little bit more because when you look historically at the gear sets from this time period, there aren't that many options.
Sure.
And they're pretty bland looking. I think in an MMO you need to have some. I think when it gets a little, I said this in the comments, but I think when it gets a little bit too fantasy, it gets a little bit messy. The armor sets get a little bit too over the top. But I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here. It's stretching it a little bit. But you can see that it does have roots in some of the more the historically accurate armors. So I think they're doing a good job.
So kind of
I think Ebon Scale Reach will be awesome if they introduce a load of feudal Japan armor, samurai outfits, and things like that.
So kind of
yeah, that'd be really cool.
Finding that middle ground from something that's like got the historic vibe, but kind of pushes the boundaries just a little bit to kind of make it, modern day interesting, basically. Something, yeah.
Make it unique. And I think one of the things that Amour should try to do with gear sets is, and I talked about this on the New World to Go podcast, is like when you go into Everfall and you're a level 20 character and you see a level 60 and he's got some badass armor set from level 60, you want to look at him and say, whoa, what gear does he have? I want to be just like that guy. I want to be just as good as that guy. you know, that's what kind of drives MMOs. This ultimate progression machine. And you know, if you just have historically accurate armor that's, you know, kind of bland, you know, that stuff doesn't pop out like. And armor sets should always be really exciting, and so I think that they're doing a really good job with these sets.
With that, I think a few of the boys heard a bit of robots there. I don't know if that was from you or from me, Studeee, but we'll test 1 2 1 2, boys. How's it going?
No, it's working. Yeah,
Are we back?
Yeah, we're good,
your
man.
signal
We're good.
clicked a bit.
It was understandable and all good, bro. All good. So this is talking about sort of the fantasy side a bit more. I think some of these are kind of leaning into this a little bit more, especially with sort of golden looking ranger guy at the front. I think it's cool. I do think it's cool. I don't have anything against it. I would love it to kind of be toned back a little bit. I think it's kind of stretching it because I don't see this fitting with any of the current territories. You know, where would you typically see this type of armor, especially the sort of the golden guy, for example? I think the purpley guy would be sort of your Eden Grove nature vibe. I feel coming through there, but you like these ones, Ped? What your feelings, man? Peddler, come back to me. Oh. 2 seconds, gents. 2 seconds. Oh. Technical difficulties. I think my Discord is being a pain. Discord is wacky across the region. Are you guys feeling some Discord issues too? Sack him. Pet is out.
Maybe it's back for half a second.
Oh,
That's working now, I think.
Very odd. Very odd. Could you guys hear each other, or was it just me dropped out?
No, we all dropped.
Nope, we all dropped.
Come on, Discord. This isn't the time to be doing this to us. TeamSpeak.
Yeah, what's going on?
Ventrilo, let's go.
Ventrilo.
Oh mate, I was starting to hit.
Discord. That's a Discord server name for some of me and my close buddies is Ventrilo.
Yes,
Love it.
old school.
So good.
I was starting to heat up there. Discord, please, if you can hear me, don't do that again. I'm sweating. Can't handle that. Too much pressure. Yeah, Ped, I was going to ask you, man, what do you think of these armor sets?
I don't know, because I didn't hear anything that you were saying.
That's it, basically.
I wasn't on the call.
Okay, I was basically saying something along the lines of, I think the golden guy is a little bit of a stretch. The guy in the purple is kind of Eden Grove vibes. And then I went on and asked what your thoughts were on the armor.
Yeah, the far left dude is, you know, is pretty like historically accurate. The other three are a bit fantastical. I like the flipping dude on the far right. He looks like one of the ring bearers from Lord of the Rings. I can't. My memory doesn't work. What are they called? One of the 8, the 9,
Right.
the Nazgul. Those ones.
Okay.
Wraith. Them.
Studeee, I was going to ask your thoughts on how the die system's going to work. So we'll take the guy on the right, for example. He's got kind of that orangey golden accent across his gear. What do you think we're going to be able to dye? Whether we're going to be able to dye just the whole thing, or yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in the preview week, the dye system was pretty robust. You know, you take your dye, and for each piece of armor, you have 4 to 5 options. You know, there's a primary color, there's a secondary color, there's like an accent color, and there's all sorts of different accessory colors. You can really, really finely tune your gear set to however you like. You know, on some of the hats, you know, the primary color would be the base part of the hat. The accessory color would be just the trim of the hat. So you could go full RuneScape and get your black magic hat with gold trim or something like that. So yeah, the dye system is going to be really, really fun, and yeah.
Sweet. So a lot of my experience in the preview was solely Uh, so we were lucky or unlucky, I'm not sure. We held about 7 territories in the end. So every day we were fighting in wars, and we pretty much prepped for wars, fought in wars, and really like just had a blast in the wars and invasions. So I didn't try the crafting system. I didn't try the gathering system. I didn't try the die system. We were just like all out, just going crazy in wars. So it's really good to get your thoughts and your knowledge on the die system. And I think, yeah, that's going to be super cool, man. And again, even if me and you both had the same armor, it's going to look and feel so different. Just from the die system. I think that's awesome. I guess it's kind of standard, but it's good to see it here.
Yeah. There's some really cool armors that have, where the dyes have a really profound effect on the visuals of that particular armor. There was a shoulder piece in the preview week that had a wolf slung around your shoulders, and when you use the white dye on it, it turned it into an Arctic fox, around your shoulders, and it was just, there's just some really, really cool things that you can do with dyes, and I'm guessing that we're seeing it here with these photos here.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I hope, because I went to town on some of my armor sets with the dyes, so I ended up looking like some ridiculous pimp. But I hope they finessed the dyeing so that you can, because I mean, like, I dyed one set basically bright pink and another set basically bright turquoise, and it looked mental. But I hope that they have tweaked it so that you can kind of add, sort of graded color scales to it, or shading and stuff. Because I did look pretty ridiculous in the pink armor.
How beautiful.
You're talking about like gradients and things like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you can add, cool. Because I was messing around with the dyeing to see what it looked, and I just dyed all my items pink, as bright pink as I could make. I mean, it looked pretty rad. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't look as quality as everything else. It looked like cheap and tacky in comparison.
Pink Power Ranger. Good shout, Jack. Good shout. I know time is pushing on. Time flies when you're having fun, boys. What I'll do is I'll run through kind of the top points here. If there's anything interesting, shout out and get involved. Okay, so improved expedition drops by increasing the chances that expedition armor and weapons will drop with one more perk than they did previously. That's cool. Again, like more incentives to hit expeditions. Clothing with trade skill related perks can now be found at elite points of interest. And increased special drops from expeditions and elite POIs. We want to ensure that players feel rewarded for defeating some of the most dangerous enemies in Eternum. And then here's sort of the exacts there. Crafted and dropped armor can now roll skill perks. Players can now salvage gear they receive as drops. This is a big change, actually, I think. Players can now salvage gear that they receive as drops into gold and repair parts. This will provide a great new source of income for players and ensure all drops have a base value. Do you like that change, Studeee?
Yeah, I mean, this is huge. One of the biggest problems I think is underrated and a lot of people aren't talking about is resources gained from salvaging items. And they took out resources from chests, and it was such a big problem because in the preview week, people could get so many of these resources from salvaging items and from chests that they never had to go into any gathering professions. They just automatically had all the resources that they need to create whatever they wanted. I remember in the preview week, I had so much star metal from chests. I couldn't even mine star metal, but I had so much star metal that I created all of the trade skill weapons or the life skills tools for all three of the people in my party. And I hadn't even I couldn't even mine the actual resource. So this is huge. This is going to improve the crafter economy. This is way underrated. This is a much more important change than we think it is, for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised it kind of like it's embedded, kind of straight in the middle. It's one of those, like you say, something that new players probably won't feel, but for us that played the preview, it's going to be such a different experience to the game when you're salvaging. So yeah, massive, man. Crafted trinkets now salvage into a lower tier raw version of the gem used to craft them to better fit a change that enables any tier of trinket to use any tier of components to craft it. Probably a big change again for you guys that had a chance to check out the crafting in the preview, or indeed in the alpha. Some more changes to the faction shops. I won't run through everything. Okay, updated epic armor quests by adding the ability to upgrade several pieces of special armor granted discretion into the mid to late game. Sorry,
did you just get raided?
Hey,
oh no,
Salty Mantis, yeah, man, raided party 2. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
Sweet.
Salty raid. Tuned high water mark. Talking about water, the only thing I thought about when I was reading water here, swimming. Studeee, do you think swimming's coming to the game?
Oh, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Or we're gonna be feasted on by crocodiles for the rest of the beta. You know.
Okay, so tune the high watermark to players' ability to earn items above their current gear score. Outcome rates and introduce the floor. God. So items from a powerful level 60 plus enemies don't drop gear scores far below their power level, sort of dropping relevant items. That's good. And the tribal loyalty charm and early game crest reward now provides increased constitution instead of strength. Again, some kind of nice balance changes there. This I thought was really cool. I had no idea this sort of thing. So fishing updated: piranhas, dragonfish, spear-tooth sharks, and stingrays. I didn't know they were a thing in the game. To salvage into fish guts with a chance to also grant an extra unique item for each fish, which can be used in alchemy. This one's for you, Ped, man. You're going to be making magic things. You're going to be fishing for some sharks, dude.
I'm definitely going to be fishing, especially.
It's a bit scared of sharks. Walk the plank into the shark infested waters. I just didn't know that. I don't know where they're going to be or how they're going to introduce them, or whether it's going to be like a baby shark. I don't know what a spear-tooth shark is, or it's going to be like fucking fearsome beastie shark. I mean, you're going to be
and I mean, unless they start to defy the laws of nature, the sharks and the stingrays are going to have to be in the ocean parts. So that's not many settlement areas that actually have sea, and then some of the others can be in freshwater areas. So the piranhas can be in freshwater, can't they? So you could go into one of the lakes and then suddenly get chewed to pieces by piranhas. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
It'd be extreme fishing. That'd be amazing. So we could do pirate gaming, naked, extreme fishing nights where you have to go and catch as many piranhas as possible without dying.
Crazy Toucan thinks they might be in the water. Thank you for confirmation.
He's got big brain.
Apex, man, thank you so much for your 6-month sub. I love you, bro. Okay.
No, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool because, you know, if there's potential to do a lot of stuff with alchemy that they have yet to introduce, I think. So they could take that down so many avenues, you know, because you could have poison tipped potions, you could have, you know, you start to bring in all the different void and so on. So yeah, there's a lot of potential there that they could take it if they wanted to.
Some of this shit coming in chat. I love you guys, man. Added the ability to combine lower tier gems into higher tier gems. Again, kind of it's just thrown in there. I think that's kind of a big change for the gem scenario. They've tuned the repair kit crafting costs. There they are, boys. Some balance changes. Another balance change with the wood for the charcoal. Increase the resource cost of crafting epic crafting materials by 1. Slightly increase the drop rates and quantities of gemstones found in the standard ore veins.
So Studeee, you said you'll probably be quite busy with the crafting side of things to support your PvP side, right? Because
oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to be doing it all. I really like. I definitely like how crafting is set up in New World. How you could progress all of the skills, and they all have a all the level caps are really high, so you can be crafting for a long time. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be focusing on the crafting. That's for sure.
This one, this change here, I think is quite a nice one. So removed foods granting trade skill bonuses from large provisioning containers. These containers will continue to drop finished meals, but they won't have the trade skill bonuses. Kind of a small change, but I think great for those guys that are going to be out there cooking for your clan or cooking for your mates, because before you didn't really need, a big cook in your clan because you just pick it up in every world. So I think this is quite nice, and it's going to push some more teamwork out there, which I like.
Yeah, and backing it up, milk now has a chance to be found in any provisioning container in the world. If you were a cook back in the preview week, you know that milk was really, really hard to find, and they've boosted the chance you're going to find milk and have more milk available to you. Yeah, it's just kind of a funny thing that they have to boost because it just wasn't really readily available in the preview week. So that's a nice change.
Forgive me for skipping that. I didn't have much milk in preview, obviously. On a side note, Altair with a cheeky raid. Boys, welcome if you just joined with Altair. We're about well overdue. We're passing our hour, but we're going to crack on because we're loving it. Studeee, you good for time?
100%.
That's just for Dutch, just because Beard raided Dutch, and Dutch has now raided us.
Hey,
See,
Beard
does a quality cap as well.
Hey, awesome. Guys, welcome if you joined in with Altair. Guys, if you haven't checked out Altair yet, he's a legend. He's going to be streaming New World with us. And Pigeon, thanks again for your prime there, dude. Appreciate that. Let's roll down to the titles and achievements. Something that I think, again, isn't like spoken about massively, but will really give a sense of kind of achievement while playing the game. So I'll run through it quickly. We've been working with the alpha community to refine and update the title system ahead of the launch. Many players provided feedback that there were too many titles. So now there are less, which basically means when you do get a title, it's going to feel hard-earned. The title change in UI now has a pronoun selector, should you be that way inclined. Move the titles down on the overhead nameplate to display on the same line as the characters. Blah, 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 blah. What are your thoughts on this, Studeee? I mean, we didn't have them in preview. I think this is cool. I think it's going to really add some uniqueness to everyone's character. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I think this change is a good one. Having a bunch of titles that don't mean much, you kind of players would get desensitized to titles, and they wouldn't. A lot of players wouldn't know the good ones from the bad ones. The kill 5 turkeys and you get Turkey Slayer. We don't want that. We want killed 1,000 corrupted ogres or killed 1,000 Spriggan and you're the Spriggan Grandmaster. Like titles like that are going to fit really, really well into this game. And like I said before, all of these kind of things in the game that make you kind of look at somebody next to you and say, man, I really aspire to have killed 1,000 Spriggan or to be the PvP Grandmaster. Those are the things that we want in this game for sure. Yeah.
I agree completely. I want to be Crocodile Dundee for killing 10,000 crocs.
They should have that. If anybody from New World development team is listening right now, I want that title for sure.
That's not a knife.
Just slightly off topic. Calf, Joey, man, a tier 3, dude. Big love and thank you so much. Sorry I missed that. I'm an asshole. I love you, dude. Thank you so much. Ped, what do you think? Any particular achievements that any particular player titles or achievements that you want to see in the game?
I want to be the man that's picked the most herbs, the most silk, the most hemp. I mean, I picked a lot of hemp in preview, so I want to be like the Hemp Master General or something.
one of the titles that I really want to see, and I just thought of this, and I think it'd be really badass. Is, you know how player housing will have ranking associated with it, like if your house is the best. I think if you had a streak, like if your house was rated the highest for like a month straight, you could get some sort of really great title, like Home Builder or something, and it'd be like, oh wow, that guy's got a fucking badass house, and you're obviously going to be seeing that home builder's house. And maybe you get a little charm on your house, or you get a cool little paint alternative on the outside of your house. If you get that achievement, it'd be kind of
cool. Like you come in the top 10 best homes magazine,
head of the HOA. That'd be fun.
I think because that's really cool. Del Monte Brian, man, Ginger Prime, thank you so much for your sub, you legend. I think I think things like that as well, because it might be quite difficult to get, because it's not just something that you can go out and do on your own. You're going to kind of be competing with other people, so it might take a lot of energy and effort to pick up some of these titles. That's a solid idea. I like that,
Studeee. Mummy's got a question in chat about, do we think there's going to be more magic weapons? I mean, based on the direction of travel, it would be strange if there weren't other magic weapons. Because then that would play into the lore quite nicely, wouldn't it? And also then makes selecting specific fit outs for doing certain expeditions, or the portals, etc., the invasions. So it adds another dimension, doesn't it, in making sure you've got the specific like DPS output, for whatever it is you're going up against. So I hope they do bring all that in.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of echo the same thing. Basically, I think that all the gems that you see now that socket into items and give it a different elemental trait. We see electricity, we see void, fire, ice, and there's probably other ones that I'm not. Nature damage or something like that. We're probably going to see a weapon that is that damage type. Over time. On Twitter, I remember one of the there was some sort of thread, some conversation on Twitter that was happening, and one of the social media managers said, what do you guys think would be a great weapon type for electricity? And then there was a huge thread that was going on about that. So I think they're definitely looking to bring some more magic weapons into the game, and I think there's many different examples of that.
So what we're basically saying is there's going to be Thor's hammer in the game.
Some big hype in chat. Maybe with some insane gifted stuff there too. Thank you so much. Yeah, dude, I think you sort of hit the nail on the head there, Studeee. I think that's solid.
Thanks for that gifted 10, Mumi. Appreciate that.
So we have some changes to the UX UI again, which is nice. They keep updating these. So I'll just run through them quickly. Actually, I'm just going to skip straight through to this one. So
these are all things that you paid zero attention to in the preview, and you'll pay zero attention to in the beta.
The only thing I'm excited by in this is typing a direct message no longer makes a ... bubble. I know it's only for direct message, but I remember like laying in the bushes trying to ambush people, like messaging like mates saying, "Hey man, come here, we're trying to ambush some guys, come and lay down," and now you can be completely stealth. So I think it's great. I think that's great. And a few other kind of lovely changes to the UI, which are all great.
Yeah,
especially the chat.
I like sorry. I like that they note there's no longer a ... so you can't be left on unread. The bubbles come up and then they go away and then they never type anything. You must feel so bad about yourself or something.
Brilliant. I think this is kind of a small but nice change again. Chat now has a setting to display a dark background behind these messages, making them easy to read. Definitely got lost in some occasions. So yeah, just some nice quality of life in there. Another big change to the expeditions. Expeditions have all of the creatures have had their damage increased by 10 to 20% to provide a greater challenge to players. Obviously, a lot of us haven't had a chance to to get involved in this yet, but I think we could probably all agree that the harder they are, you know, the more challenging they are, the more fun they're probably going to be. We don't want them to be a complete whitewash, so I think this is nice.
Yeah, hopefully they balance those nicely, because especially for the repeatable ones, right? So you know that it's a challenge, but you know you get double the XP, and you know that there's good drops. So the incentive is to keep bouncing back into them, isn't it?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
What's going on with all the subs in your channel?
You guys are amazing, boys. You're amazing. These thanks for the 5 gifted. Okay. Some balance changes to the combat. I don't know if you guys want to go through this. And again, balance changes to weapons. Studeee, Ped, do you want to go over this, or is it kind of all good? I think update constitution.
One of the things that I do wanted to just glance over for the weapon balancing is if we take a look at the bow, I think it got a little bit too much hate. Yeah, I know the bow is strong, but kind of a blanket gut to basically all of the haste modifiers on the bow. I have all these PvP build things, and I found myself making all of these. I had to make so many different changes to the bow, and they're all nerfs. I think that felt pretty bad, and especially for people that are going to be running the bow, I kind of felt bad for you guys, because the bow is really fun, and just seeing your weapon gutted like that was pretty kind of sad.
Some of them are quite big as well, from 33% down to 15%. A lot of the balance changes we've seen have been from maybe 30% down to 28%, 27%. This is like, there's some big nerfs here.
Yeah, normally you'd want to see smaller tuning changes over the course of lots of different patch notes. Just seeing this block of text is really like hurts the soul from a preview bow main for sure.
Feeling the pain. I didn't really get a chance to play the bow in the preview, but I played it in. I got to do that special event and run through the first, the Amour excavation, and it was so nice. It was so nice to use. So from a not so experienced ranger side, it is sad to see it taking such a beating already.
Yeah, and the Ice Gauntlet got some buffs that are looking pretty good. So if anybody we probably won't go over them, but anybody in the chat, if you look at the Ice Gauntlet buffs, you'll be happy if you're gonna try to run the Ice Gauntlet in beta. You won't be wrong for choosing that weapon for sure. It's gonna be pretty good.
I think, gents, that is the majority of the patch notes. Of course, there's a few more balance changes. I know a lot of you guys here are ready for some New World giveaway, but before that, do you guys in chat? I know we had some questions popping up. Is there any questions that you guys want to ask? Anything in about any of us? Maybe about Studeee, the game, anything? Fire some questions our way, and in the meantime, I will prepare the stream racer.
I think that there was one question from Brady, about halfway through.
Yep.
I don't know if that's able to be pulled up or.
Let's try and get past all these subs. You legends. Oh, it's sort of it's limiting my ability to scroll up. Brady, man, can you fire your question across again if you don't mind, man?
Thank you guys for showing so much support to Danneh. It really makes me feel good inside that there's so much support in this community, especially for somebody for him that works so hard on all of the content, and is constantly trying to do stuff for the community and get a lot of people involved. So thank you all for getting the hype train going and making us feel welcomed and good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It means a lot. I think the one thing that we've seen, a lot of you guys. I get a lot of shit. I love it, man. A lot of you guys come in and say, dude, why are you just streaming nothing? Like, play some games, Dan. I'm like, man, I'm in for New World. And the community from all over the world. We've had literally people from all over the world come in and just have the greatest vibe. Okay, so we've got some questions coming in. So Terra, was the small axe attack spam fixed? Studeee, do you want to ask this one?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The stagger was removed from the stagger was. I think the stagger was removed a little bit too much potentially. It was removed from all light attacks, all heavy attacks, unless the weapon has a passive that adds a stagger to it, and for most abilities, I think. But yeah, the stagger is gone. Hatchets won't be raining, in PvP or PvE anymore. It'll be more of a level playing field for sure. Good question.
Paired one for you. Why New World over something else that already exists out there at the moment? Thanks for that, Brian.
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about it a lot previously, but I mean, I've got a 3080 Ti to go into a new computer just to play New World because it's beautiful. Like there is no game out there that just is as immersive from an environment perspective as New World was. Like, WoW bored me after 2 weeks back. Bearing in mind that was back in 2004, but I'm an old bastard. But it was just like chopping trees down. I've never had so much fun chopping trees down and picking flowers in a game than I have in the previous New World. So they've got something right.
Lots of good things. Cheeky question from Tight Eyes, Studeee. Will we ever see you join the Pirate Gaming Twitch team? You don't have to answer this right now.
Question,
You don't have to answer this. Man. You don't have to answer this. Danneh, the bear mask.
No comment.
Bear mask on the beard struggle was back in stock. Thank you, Sticker. Thank you, man. New World, one for all of us boys. New World's new video hints at a marriage system. Do you think they will implement one? And if so, what are your opinions? Studeee, let's go in with you on that one.
I think a marriage system would be fantastic. You can't exhaust the features in a game in an MMO. If people are more into the role playing and they want to get married to somebody else in the game, some people might not care for it at all, but there are some people that would really care about that. And so I think it'd be a great system to implement. It'd be pretty easy for them to do something like that in New World. So, hell, bring it on, man.
Another one for you, Studeee, if you want to run through it. Any thoughts on PvP healer theory crafting?
Oh, yeah. So I'm editing the video right now. So
yeah, let's go. All right, coming soon, boys. Coming soon. Feel free to drop your YouTube in chat, Studeee, just so people can know where to find you. Danneh, what date will Pirate Gaming have taken over the map after? Shut up, Super Scat. We're not sure yet, man. Coming soon.
Schmeagle's got a good one.
So I'll just run back to Bretty quick. Bretty said competitive PvP system with a ratings or MMR like Arena or such. Do you want to jump into that, Ped? Do you think there'll be a PvP rating system?
Well, everybody in every MOBA out there complains about MMR systems. So, I mean, it could be fun, but then it could also just be rubbish because nobody's ever happy with an MMR system in whatever game it is. They're always going, I'm in Elo hell. Not that I suck. I'm in Elo hell.
Potentially they could bring it like just out to maybe like Outpost Rush or something like that, and not into like the open world PvP. But maybe not so hardcore, just something that indicates maybe a wins loss or your ranking or.
I think a leaderboard, some form of PvP leaderboard in the dedicated PvP environments. I think that works, because then if you've got your hardcore PvPers that just want to go and do PvP 24/7, then they're at the top of the leaderboard because they've got the most kills in battlegrounds and whatever else. Then fair play to them, awesome, and they get the title for, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Do you want to run through Smeagol's question, Ped?
Yeah, the life staff, absolutely only focus linked weapon. I don't think they should scale it off in. I mean, it was nice it was in, wasn't it, in preview, because I was running fire staff and life staff, but I think it just means that they'll probably likely introduce other weapons downstream that will scale off focus, so then you get the synergy of having the life staff with something else. So running with a fire staff and an ice gauntlet for beta is probably what I'm going to do because it's all in. So it's almost inevitable that they'll drop some other weapons that'll be focus specific. I think.
Just catching up on chat. Danneh, get Ped to stop hiding. Get your beautiful face in the camera, Ped.
I'm trying to read the flipping questions. I can't read them on the top monitor. You've got too many monitors.
I saw some questions coming in about Cash Shop and things like that. Cash Shop is a rabbit hole we don't want to go down tonight. It's a massive topic that's wonderful in its own right, but also a huge conversation. So I appreciate them, boys, but we'll skip those Cash Shop questions tonight. How rare is the rarest gear? For example, in WoW, you can go years without it dropping. Will New World have such items like that? From my experience so far, I don't think you would go years without finding a drop in New World. But from my personal experience, I've seen some guys in the preview that had 6-7 legendaries. I didn't get one. And I was, to be fair, I wasn't crafting anything, but I was constantly running corrupted portals, like non-stop, constantly trying to, run through end level zones and things like that. And I didn't get one legend drop. Did you get any legendaries, Studeee, in the preview?
I did, and it was when some people might remember the video that I published about it. I got a Warhammer drop, and it was when the Warhammer was just not that good. I was so disappointed. I went up to the Shattered Mountains and I threw it in a chest up there. And I just never looked at it ever again. I was like, this sucks. I could have got anything else.
The Toodler, kind of a nice question here. Do you see any resources that you believe will have a massive shortage? I feel like oil and milk come to mind from beta. Ped, what do you reckon, mate?
Wait, what was the question? There's too many questions.
Do you think there'll be any resource shortages? Like, is there any particular resource?
Potentially. Yeah, but I know there's been discussions around oil and finding oil because there was a huge dependency on oil in preview, so maybe they balanced that out by putting more oil into the world like they've done with the milk. I mean, what would be cool is if you could actually go and milk cows and there were cows dotted around the world. That would be pretty rad. Go and milk the cows, get your milk that way, and get a milkmaid outfit. You'd look good in that, Danneh.
Fill them on the BeeKeepers, man. Yeah, I like it. Boy has a treat. No, that's cool. Cool question here from Hermes. Tavern games.
That's
yes
the question
or no?
I was just reading. Yeah,
cool.
Definitely. That'd be amazing. That's like what was the flipping game that they did that in? Did they do that in WoW, or did they? There was another MMO, wasn't there, where they introduced a side game in the game?
I played a lot of tavern games in Red Dead Online.
Witcher?
Might have been, but yeah, any. Not so much darts. I mean, that's a bit 20th century. Like dice would be cool. Yeah, I think dice would be cool.
Yeah, bring on tavern games. One of the most underused buildings in New World is the tavern. There's nothing to do there. It's just there's usually just like one quest from the barkeeper, and then you're done with the tavern. So I think it'd be really cool to make that a lively space where people can go to interact and maybe get some RP going with some games and stuff.
One thing I saw Conqueror's Blade do actually was they introduced kind of some of the NPCs as some of the dev team. For example, we all know and we all know and love Greg. Imagine kind of Greg's character becoming in the tavern and things like that, and just sort of bring a bit of fun to it. But yeah, the tavern needs to be a place we hang out for sure. Guys, thank you so much for your questions. You guys are actually legendary. On that note, there is a player cap. I don't know if we're going to reach it tonight or not, of 90 people. If you would like to join in, we are going to be giving away a copy of New World. Studeee, get involved. What you need to do is you need to type !race in chat, boys. It's a bit of a first come first serve for the first 90 people. If we cap the 90, I'm going to get myself involved so I can try and keep the money. Don't worry, I will give it away. I'm not that much of an asshole. !race. Okay, so the way this works is you actually have an opportunity to control your car. There are 2 commands that you can do within the game. One is !boost. You get 2 boosts in the game. I'll bring them up on screen actually because it makes sense while you guys are joining. !race to join in, boys.
I'm kind of hyped for this. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what this looks like. I want to win that copy, baby.
So there are 2 commands you guys can run. One is a bit of pay to win. We love a bit of pay to win. So one is your !boost. And that boosts your car. So a little tip, try not to boost on a corner. It will fling you off the map. I have no idea what map this is. I've never played Industry before. The other one is, which if Mitzi's around, might start blowing people up again. It's cheer 10 space boom. So if you've got some bits that you want to blast through, you can basically blow up other people in the race. They won't be completely blown up, but it'll fling them into the air. So this isn't a necessity. Only do it if you have some spare bits. But yeah, you can blow each other up basically.
I've got 400 bits, so you guys are going downtown.
I just got myself some as well. I'll do my best to follow the cars around the track. Let's just give it a few minutes, just in case people aren't paying attention. Boys, if you're here in the chat, !space race, we are giving away a copy of New World. If you've already got New World, you can give it to a friend. Give me their Steam account or whatever, or pass it to the winner, person in second place. Completely up to you guys. It's at the ready. All right. Let's do this. I'll start the countdown. You got 90 seconds, guys, if you want to get involved in a race.
What is it you have to type that you can type to use bits to just blow everyone up?
So
Cheer 10.
Cheer 10 space boom.
Oh my god.
Okay, Moomy, I will do my best. I'll give you a nice bird's eye view of the entire track rather than trying to be a cool cameraman.
Get your drone out. Get your drone out.
!space boost. You get 2 of them, boys. Only 2 boosts. And then cheer 10 space boom. While this is going down, if you guys have anyone that's streaming after this, feel free to throw some accounts in the chat that we might be able to head over for a big New World raid after this. Love it. I'll just get the screen a little bit more central. You can't boost yet, boys. Hold fire.
You boosting the stream.
Yeah. Isn't there?
So we're doing the race, and then you're going to raid someone else. So we're wrapping this stage up. Yeah,
we'll be wrapping. We'll have a bit of a chill after the race because it's absolute chaos. I'm going to lose my mind in this. It's hilarious. Look how many races we have, boys. Here we go.
Let's go.
Good luck, boys. Early boosts.
Screw that.
Talk and sometimes I win after good stuff. People are starting to blow up, boys.
Losers. Blow shit up.
I'm going to give you a nice overview of the track here. Absolute chaos down there. Blake is flying high. Turbo Swag's off the map. Who we got in the lead? Alien, Iluk. Tone Gaming's up there. Kino 2. Fefner. All right, boys. There's the finish line is just on the bottom of the screen there. There's people going everywhere. It's absolute chaos down on these ramps. What is going on?
How am I still stuck at the beginning? What's going on here?
Studeee, come on, bro.
Am I not even moving? I'm not even moving.
No, what a track. Tone Gaming is flying into space. Oh my gosh. Okay, who's in the lead? Little Night Dog, Kino, Mackie, Super. I don't know where the winning cars are, boys, at the moment. Tone Gaming's flying again. Okay, here's Little Night Dog. He's just so... Okay, boys, here's the leader. Here's Little Night Dog, right out in front.
He's off the course. He's off the course.
Alien coming up second there. Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
So Melander's just doing donuts in the parking lot over there.
Studee's still hanging back at the start there, mate. Streamer
What's going on
privileges
over
are
there?
not.
Can you zoom in there? I mean, what's going on over there? Is a traffic jam?
You're off, man. You're off. Here we go. I don't know where.
Here we go. Now we'll start booming people.
Oh.
I don't even think I'm on the track anymore, am I?
No idea.
Oh, there I am.
Oh my gosh. You boys. Oh, mate. Incredible. People are literally flying all over the map. Little Night Dog's coming down the home straight here, though. This might be the win. We might have a winner, boys. Throughout all that carnage, we do. Little Night Dog. Oh,
the
got blown up at the
boom's out.
Oh.
Nice, Night Dog. Let's go.
GG, GG.
Unbelievable. Oh, he's just got blown off.
Yeah, off the map. Alien in second, Super Scan in third. Well done, boys. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Oh my gosh. Malik and Kino. Pav, Sick of Whiskers coming in there. I think me, Studeee, and Ped hanging out at the back there. Oh my. It is actually chaos. I have no idea what goes on in this. Until someone comes up the final stretch. Get some views from the cars here. Here we go.
Somalander coming back from the donuts in the parking lot. I like it.
We're following Brian. Spiv just rammed Brian out of the way there. Cutie pie. Come on, bro. There's me.
Del Monte's just driving in reverse. I like that.
Oh, incredible, man.
There's Danneh.
Incredible. Here we go, boys. Down the home stretch. Everyone comes in. Fantastic. On that note, Little Night Dog. Here's our Discord. If you're not on it already, mate, pop in. You'll see me up there. Drop me a message. We'll get you sent a copy of New World. He didn't want to be mentioned, but big shout out to Tukan for the sponsor of tonight's giveaway there. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
But the crazy put his hands in the pocket.
Son of a bitch. Sorry, bro. Big love, man. Big love. Yeah, I mean, that kind of wraps up tonight's New World Wednesday. Studeee, do you want to remind people where they can find you and a little bit about you and your community?
Yeah. Well, first, I appreciate you having me on. Always love interacting with really great guys like yourself and Peddler, and it seems like the community is really coming together, and there's lots of positive. I think there's lots of positive vibes in the New World community right now, and I just really love it. If you're looking to find me, I've got a Twitter page, a YouTube page, just Studeee, right, like it's on the screen. Appreciate everybody and everybody's support for Danneh. Yeah, love you guys.
Legend. Guys, thanks again. Studee's YouTube and his Twitch are in chat there. Feel free to go give him a follow. No, don't feel free. Give him a follow, boys. Give the support. You guys have been amazing chat. You have been fucking epic tonight. It's been so much fun. Ped, thanks for joining as always.
It's been great. It's been great to have Studeee here as well.
Absolutely. So, I'm thinking about raiding someone that you guys probably all know. Kira TV's streaming tonight. He's going to be playing New World. I'm sure he is. I personally haven't had any interactions with him yet, but I think what we need to do is we'll drop into his channel. All of his viewers play New World, or are following New World, not play New World, following New World. Let's send some positive love across to Kira and his chat tonight. And as always, boys, every Wednesday night we'll be here doing some New World Wednesday chat. And if you're looking to join an EU-based company, there's our link. Come on over and say hey. Boys, thanks again. Studeee, Ped, big love, man. Yeah, awesome. Guys, get ready for some nice spam. Let's head over to Kira. Give it some nice New World love. Don't spam too much. Just have fun, though. And yeah, boys, thanks again. See you later.
Later, guys.
Good night. Laters.
I'm just going to tell you right now, bro. I've done it. It is possible. Don't lie to me. Don't fucking lie to me. What the hell was that? To be honest, what up, bro? Welcome.
I love this guy, man.
Jesus.
I love him so much, man. I love him, man.
Hello, how's it going? Welcome. You just absolutely derailed what I was saying. Yeah, so it ain't impossible to keep up with comments when you've got less than 1,000